The Stoics believed life is not won through comfort, but through trials. And the hardest trials? You face them alone. These are not battles of swords and shields, but battles of the soul. Here are 7 Stoic tests you must face alone, and how to conquer them. Test 1. The test of pain. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it." Pain is the first and most universal test. It doesn't ask for permission. It doesn't wait for the right time. It arrives without warning. A broken leg, a betrayal from a friend, the failure of a dream you poured your soul into. The Stoics understood, pain itself does not destroy you. Your judgment of pain does. A soldier struck by an arrow can still fight, but if he gives in to despair, the battle is already lost. Seneca taught that pain was life's greatest teacher. To suffer with dignity, to endure without collapse, was proof of strength. And in modern life, this test is no less brutal. It comes as illness, heartbreak, loss. But each time you rise from pain with your head unbowed, you pass the Stoics' first test. Test 2. The test of desire. Epictetus warned, "Freedom is secured not by the fulfillment of men's desires, but by the removal of desire." The world dangles temptations in every corner. Wealth, indulgence, the shallow validation of others. Most people chase these endlessly, like thirsty men drinking salt water, becoming more desperate the more they consume. Cato the Younger, a Roman senator famous for his Stoic discipline, lived in radical simplicity. In a city obsessed with luxury, he wore plain clothing and walked barefoot. When others mocked him, he didn't bend because his worth wasn't chained to appearances. To master desire is to master freedom. For the modern man, this test shows up as endless scrolling, addictions, consumerism, lust. To give in is to become a slave. To resist is to rise above. Passing this test doesn't mean rejecting all pleasure, but mastering it, using it, not being used by it. Test 3. The test of insults. Cato was mocked constantly in the Roman Senate. His enemies laughed at his rough cloak, his stubborn morality, his refusal to flatter, yet he never raged. He absorbed ridicule like a stone absorbs the wind. The Stoics believed insults reveal more about the speaker than the one insulted. To rage at words is weakness. To remain calm is strength. Marcus Aurelius said, "When you are offended at any man's fault, turn to yourself and study your own failings." Modern life is drenched in insults. Social media thrives on them. A single hateful comment can ruin a day if you let it. The test is not in silencing the voices, but in silencing the reaction within yourself. To meet mockery with calm is the mark of mastery. Test 4. The test of death. Seneca urged his students to rehearse death. To say this is to rehearse freedom. The Stoics meditated daily on mortality. They walked among tombs. They imagined their own final day, not to depress themselves, but to sharpen life. Death to them was not an enemy, but a reminder. Time is limited, fragile, and precious. When Marcus Aurelius lost many of his children in infancy, he didn't collapse under grief. Instead, he wrote that all things in nature return to the whole, just as leaves fall in autumn. By rehearsing death, he was rehearsing acceptance. Today, this test is as urgent as ever. Death can arrive without warning, through accident, illness, or tragedy. The question is, do you live as though time is infinite? Or do you seize each day knowing it may be your last? Passing this test means living with urgency, gratitude, and courage. Test 5. The test of loneliness. Epictetus began life as a slave. He owned nothing, not even his own body. Yet in this forced solitude, he discovered freedom. Stripped of everything, he turned inward and built his philosophy on the strength found within. Loneliness is often seen as weakness today, but the Stoics saw it as a forge. It reveals who you are when applause, validation, and companionship are stripped away. If you can stand strong in solitude, then you have discovered something unshakable. In modern life, loneliness is a silent epidemic. People fear being alone, so they distract themselves endlessly. But the Stoic embraces solitude as training, a chance to sharpen the mind, to grow without needing an audience. Passing this test means becoming whole, even in silence. Test 6. The test of anger. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy. Anger is fire. It burns the weak from within and makes them puppets of others. Anyone can explode when provoked. The harder test is to remain composed." One story tells of Socrates, who stood silently while his wife screamed at him. When asked why he didn't retaliate, he replied, "If a donkey kicks me, must I kick it back?" The lesson was clear. Responding in kind only makes you equal to the offender. Today, anger consumes people daily. In traffic, in arguments, online. The Stoic test is simple. Do you remain calm when provoked, or do you hand your power to others? Mastery of anger is mastery of yourself. Test 7. The test of time. Seneca warned, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." Time is life's most brutal test because it cannot be reversed. Every wasted hour is a piece of your soul you'll never return. The Stoics guarded their time like treasure. Cato was known to end debates when they became pointless because he valued his hours too highly for idle talk. Marcus Aurelius wrote his meditations not as a book for others, but as reminders to himself, not to waste the day. In our age, time theft is constant. Endless scrolling, shallow entertainment, procrastination. To pass the Stoics' test of time is to treat each day as if it were your last, because one day you'll be right. These are the 7 Stoic tests: pain, desire, insults, death, loneliness, anger, and time. No one can pass them for you. They are yours alone. But if you face them with courage, you transcend the need for anything other than yourself and self-mastery.